I'm Tom Leonard. I'm the host of the Gamers Change Lives podcast. The goal behind the podcast is to hear from esports entrepreneurs around the world and others to hear how esports can create jobs. Our tagline is play games, create jobs, change lives. In season 2, we're talking to people about sponsorship, about investment, about media rights, different ways to be generating revenue for your esports business. Because one of the things that we learned in season 1 is that it takes money to create these jobs. So we call this season Follow the Money. Now today I'm really honored to have Soufiane EL-FILALI, who is from Morocco. He's the marketing and communications director at a French name that I cannot pronounce, but it's the Royal Moroccan Fédération of Electronic Games. He'll be much better with that. Welcome, Soufiane.
Thank you very much, Tom. Thank you for your invitation, and hi to everybody who are listening to us.
So
and
where
welcome
are you speaking?
virtually in Morocco.
So you're in Morocco right now?
Yeah, I'm actually in Rabat, in the capital of Morocco.
Is that where you live?
Yeah, it's where I live. The Royal Federation of Electronic Games is based actually in Casablanca, but I live in Rabat.
Got it.
But it's like 1 hour in drive, so it's not that far.
Hey, one of the great things when I was on a trip there to Morocco was we were in Rabat. We got to go to the train station and purchase a ticket to Casablanca and drive the train down there. And that was just, from the movie, it's just like to be able to say, we want a train ticket to Casablanca. That was a big deal to us Americans anyway. So that's great. So what's the esports scene in general like in Morocco? What's going on there, do you think?
So actually, I would begin by the creation of the Royal Electronic Federation of Electronic Games. So it was created in December 2020. So it's under the supervision of the Ministry of National Education, Preschool and Sports. Its creation, it's in line with the social, economic and sports development policy installed by His Majesty King Mohammed VI, may God assist him, to respond to a social and economic reality today. Since the beginning of the digital revolution, gaming has been, let's say, a driver of industrial innovation and intergenerational exchanges. It has become really a global phenomenon here in Morocco. So with a new culture, with new fans, with a big audience. So Morocco has more than 4 million gamers on PC and consoles, and is one of the 5 countries in the MENA region, so the Middle East and North Africa region, that records the most spending on gaming. So there are lots of spending, and we have huge communities here in Morocco in several games.
No, that's great. No, we're going to go into all kinds of detail there, because one of the things that we've always been wanting to talk to someone here on the podcast is someone that has experience in how a government can become involved in esports. Because in a lot of places we've talked to people and they were like, boy, we really wish that the government would be more involved, would support esports the way they do traditional sports. And so that's why it looks like in Morocco that you're really doing some good things there. Can you describe a little bit about how was the federation created? And the reason I'm asking is like, if people are in other countries and they don't have a federation like that, what was the roadmap for it to be created? Who pushed for it?
So actually, you are right, because we can be proud here in Morocco to be one of the few countries in the world to have a governmental federation supporting esports and gaming. And we saw it when we were participating, for instance, in the FIFA E-Nations Cup last summer among the best 24 countries in the FIFA games. We were the only countries represented by his federation in esports. All the others were a department under the supervision of the Football Federation. So that's really something that we can be proud of. So the idea of having a federation was at the beginning the idea of the president, Hisham El-Khalifi, who is someone who is passionate about sports in general, who is a big patriot, And the idea it was gaming today is not just entertainment. It is something that can be an opening door for the youth people to have future jobs. And you know, Tom, that the half of the jobs that will be in 10 years don't exist now, so they will be created. So that was the beginning of this federation. It took 3 to 4 years to let's say engage people around the idea, to have support from the government, to have a subvention so we can run up the federation, to have also let's say it took time because what we are underestimating is the administrative part to build a federation, because as you know, in Morocco at least, to have a royal in a name in general is not that easy. So when you have a royal federation of something, it has to be something really interesting, built on solid basis. So that's what the president did. It took time because you have to engage a lot of association around all the countries to show that is something that will be built all over the countries, to show the potential of the sector, high level players, infrastructure, particularly in telecom, with the fiber. For instance, the players have in terms of results before, what association exists. So you have to show all the potential with clear KPIs, with clear objective, and that's why that's how the mission of the Royal Federation of Electronic Games was built. Because at the beginning the idea was to have like a Royal Federation for esports, but the esports is just a little part of the gaming. You will be agree with me, I think, for that. The esports is just a competitive way. So we have within the Royal Federation of Electronic Games 5 big axes that we are working on, and that's what we promise to the government, so we can move on the execution of and the creation of this federation. First of all, was
No, that's a really good point, because it's a lot of times we get hung up on the fact that esports is part of gaming, and in a lot of people's mind, they don't always make the distinction between those. But I think what you said was really, really good, because it was like the esports is the competition side. It's the competition. It's not just someone playing on their phone. There's a competition involved there. So on the pillars, I wanted to kind of go through things. I think I saw on your website what those pillars are, and I kind of want to go through them one at a time, if we could, out there, because there's just so much there's so much detail here. So, and also, could you talk a little bit about what the process is to be a royal federation?
Actually, it's a lot of criteria. First of all the federation almost are royal. So when you have a federation of basketball or football, you have always royal in it. There are some criteria. For sure, we have also some guidelines to pursue. We are here to run, let's say, an activity around gaming in the interest of Moroccan and Morocco, but also respecting all of our patriotism, or our the basis of our countries.
Got it. No, because that's something that is unique to some countries, to have that ability to create a distinction along those lines.
Because you may know that, but our King Mohammed says, may God assist him, has really the young people in the heart of his strategy for the future of Morocco. And you know that Africa in general will be the youth of the world in the next 30, 45, 50 years. And Morocco has also is a youth a country, and naturally our king is putting really the young in the heart of his strategy, and gaming is one of the pillar in this strategy.
This is kind of an odd question probably, but how old is the king there?
Sorry?
How old is your king? Does he come from a younger generation, or is he from an older generation?
Actually, he's we consider him as young because he always puts the young people in his mind in all his strategies. He has also the interest in all the areas of the young people. So we let's say have the support of the government. We have also the support of the king, and we are glad of it. And we hope that in this continuity we can make him proud and make the country proud with having champions in several games in the future.
No, I didn't mean to be disrespectful or anything there, asking for his age. But I think one of the things that's really interesting is world leaders of really large countries like yours. I mean, for them to take an interest in esports, it's a different mindset. It's looking at things differently than a lot of leaders do, which I think is really really
there's
good.
no disrespect. His age is 59, and we consider him always young because he's putting the young people in the heart of the strategy, as I said. And as we said, as we say in Morocco, the youth is not in the age; is like in the heart. And
that's really good because
you behave.
No, that's such a good way to approach gaming. Is like people of any age can be a gamer, can be in esports.
And actually, we may be wrong to think that gaming is only an interest for teenagers or people under 25. No, we are in our old tournaments. We have people that has 40, 45, and it's not just a matter of age. There are a lot of passionate about games. I am one of them because I played gaming. I didn't have the opportunity to compete like today the young people can. And also it's not a matter of gender because we have a lot of men, but also women that play.
What got you started in esports? Because it seemed like what got you interested in esports? Did you come from more of a traditional sport background on the marketing side, or did it all start with a PS2?
No, I come from professionally. I played football for years, and then I oriented my career to management and marketing in sports, beginning by football. In football, but I have a close relationship with gaming because I am the big brother of four. So we were four boys in the house. We played in Atari, in Saturn, in PlayStation 1, and we did have esports in our house. We played a lot of tournaments with my brothers. We had a lot of challenges, a lot of competition inside the house. We played with cousins tournaments. So we were really on the esports, but in another level. It's like just to have fun, to compete, but we were really competing because we wanted because for instance, if we play a big competition at home, the one who will be losing will be going to for a month to be the one who is buying the things for our mothers outside, and he will be the one who will be bringing water for everybody. So there was some challenges like that. The one who will be sleeping at the top of so there will be challenges like that. We were really on the esports because it was really tough competition. And I have my youngest brother today who is a professional FIFA players, because he was the one who has the opportunity to play such tournaments. And today he's selected among the best player of FIFA in Morocco. So I'm saying that I has a little part of that in his career. So I told him that I always win you 7 or 6 20 years ago, but now I cannot imagine playing against him because the score will be really tough for me.
No, that's great. That's a great story there. So back on the federation, does the federation create competitions? Does the federation create tournaments?
Yeah, for sure. Because as you know, to select the best player in a lot of disciplines, you have to organize competition. We cannot just choose players by default or choose by criteria. We organize competition so we can build a transparency within the community of that game. For instance, for FIFA, we did a lot of online tournaments. We selected the best players, and then we organized LAN tournaments so we can select the best player who will be representing the Morocco, will be in the national team. So for each game, we organize with our national technical direction a way to select the best players with the competition all over the country.
So you also work with the Olympic Committee in Morocco, is that right?
No, we are under the Ministry of Sports, not the Olympic Committee. But I guess with all the news that we are hearing about esports integrating perhaps the Olympic Games in the next edition, perhaps in Los Angeles. For sure, the Royal Federation of Electronics Game will be part of this journey because we are, as the Royal Federation of Electronic Games, responsible for all the electronic part of all the federation. For instance, for the basketball, if there is an FIBA tournaments, it will be passed by us, not by the basketball federation. So that's the aim, to have, let's say, a big federation who will be responsible for all the gaming part of the games.
No, one of the things that we're always talking about. Yeah, I saw some of the information also about the Olympics and some of the things, the Olympic Committee, and some of the things that they're doing or thinking about doing in the esports world. And one of the things that it's sometimes easy to lose sight of is what it takes to get to those finals. All the selection that has to take place by someone somewhere, because it doesn't just happen. People just don't show up by accident at the final event there. So what about training? Does the federation create training for players and for businesses?
Actually, for instance, I will give you the main game that we you may not know that, but we are a young federation. We have let's say 1 year of existence operationally. So we're not having, let's say, years of background, but I will tell you about what we did. For instance, for the football game for FIFA, Actually, when we selected the best players, we did recruit all a staff to train them, and with an analyst, a head coach, a mental coach, and the medical part for sure. So all this is something that we need to build so we can to have higher performance within the national team, and we will have that for all the national team that we have. In the other side, we will have training courses for sure for the people that will be organizing competition regionally in the main region, how to organize a competition. For instance, we will speak about it in details perhaps, but we are equipping youth center here in Morocco. Youth center are a concept that are not existing in all the countries. When I was young, I was a child. I was used to go to youth center to play football, to play basketball, to play games with the people of my in my neighborhood. Okay, so but this youth center did not evolve in the time. The maintenance of the equipment was not that good, and then it was like the youth people didn't go there anymore. Okay, now there is a volunteer of the Minister of Youthness here in Morocco to rethink the concept of youth centers, and one of the pillar of this revolution is to put a gaming center in each youth center. We have 500 youth center all over Morocco. Okay. And we have a project to equip 100 youth center by a gaming center. And when I say a gaming center, it's an investment of $25,000 per center, with the PlayStations, with PC gamers, with all the accessories, a fiber connection. So all over Morocco, people can play in the same condition, and that's what we called the first objective of our federation. It's inclusion. So we want to include everybody in the game. Either they are in the capital in Rabat, or the economical capital in Casablanca, but also in Youssoufia, in Dakhla, in Laayoune, in Tangier, in Tétouan, in Fez, in Oujda. So we want all over the countries, the Moroccan, to have the same condition, so we can have a responsible practice of this game, but also to detect talents that can be trained and can integrate the national teams to represent Morocco internationally.
No, that's really a good story to be telling about taking the youth centers and using the something that's already in existence, and bringing esports into those centers, bringing gaming into those centers, rather than starting, let's go build something brand new from the ground up. It's like, no, let's integrate with something that already exists there. So at the youth centers, who can participate?
Everybody, actually, Tom. But you cannot give free access like that, because it's a big investment, as I said. That's how we relate. We rely on the association that are affiliate to our federation. So we have as association all over the countries that are already organizing tournaments, competition, which have passionate people inside them. Okay, so this association that are integrated in our federation has the possibility to use this equipment to organize in a proper hours and defined hours tournaments, free play access to their adherents, so their licensees. So that's how we organize things, because if you give free access with this equipment, in which it should not overpass 1 year in terms of maintenance. So we train, and that's what, when I will get back to your question, we train this association so they can level up their skills in terms of organization, in terms of accompanying the youth people, so they can train them, so they can organize competition for them. And that's our role. The role is not just equipping, it's also animate these youth centers. And we did already among the youth centers that are already equipped, 12 weekends of animation in several cities. And during this weekend, we organized competition. We trained the association. We organized free plays. We offers some goodies, some things to the population, so we can show them that they are not forgotten, that we are here for them. And we have some regions and some cities, they told us it's the first time someone come to us so they can organize something for us independently of gaming. So we want gaming to be that thing to regroup the youthness of Morocco, and why not to Africa also in the future.
That's such a good story there. Do have people come to you and say, well, this is the first time that someone's come to do something for us, in so many words. You mentioned earlier about women in esports. What is the Federation doing to encourage women's participation in esports?
So first of all, during the weekend of animation in the youth centers, we integrate women in our reflection. So we add in free play, at least not in competition, the possibility to women to come to play, to test themselves in gaming, because sometimes we have this stereotype of know that the gaming is for boys, not for girls, and we want to let's say broke up this stereotype. Okay, so that's the first thing. Second thing, we have already in Morocco a lot of women playing professionally. So for instance, we've participated in the last summer in August for the first time with a women national team in Valorant, okay, in the Arab League Cup that was organized in Saudi Arabia. And these girls has, let's say, 1 week to prepare the competition. So the Arab League called us really late, but we did found a really good team. We bring them a well-known coach here in Morocco for Valorant, and they bring us the second place in 1 week preparation. So that was the first medal of the history of the Federation bring by women. So we are proud of these girls, because everyone has his context. There was housewives, there was students of the universities, one has children. So they were really engaged in this adventure in like 1 week. They prepared a lot, and they bring us a trophy, a medal for us. So we are proud of them, and I think it will be just the beginning. We are working also on building the first national team, the women national team in FIFA, like we did for men. And we have also promises from FIFA that there is something coming up for the girls in terms of FIFA in the game, especially with the next World Cup that will be held in Australia and New Zealand, and Morocco will be part of this in football, in the traditional football. So if we can have something also in esports, it will be wonderful in terms of visibility, to encourage girls to say, hey, you can do something in gaming too if you have the passion and if you want to do that in terms of performance and in terms of practice.
When you talk about these events, like say in New Zealand, in Australia, and their teams from Morocco going there, does the federation help fund those trips?
Actually, the federation, the Royal Federation of Football, helped us a lot. First of all, to get the contact with FIFA, because they literally delegate to us the management of the esports part of their federation. Okay, that's like I said to you in the World Cup, all the national team of FIFA Electronics was a department inside the Football Federation. Morocco was the exception. We were a separate federation. Even if in the World Cup we played with the shirts of the football national team. Okay, not that one that is our federation that I'm wearing. But we played with the national team shirt of football, okay? And in this, it was a really good opportunity because the president of the Football Federation, Fawzi Lakja, helped us a lot. He has a really good confidence on us, and he helped us in terms of logistics. For instance, the first few tournaments in the history of Morocco, that was we were like more than 1,000 players in it. The final was in the complex of Mohammed VI in Marmora, which is one of the best football complex in the world. So they are helping a lot with logistics, with networks also. And we hope that this will continue with the women in the future.
It sounds like you really are getting a lot of support from the government there, which is great and fairly unusual. You said there are a few other countries that are doing the same. Are there any countries in particular that you think are doing a good job of with their government supporting the esports side of things? I'm not going to ask you about people that don't. So let's look at the good examples. Who out there it could be a good role model other than Morocco to follow?
I think for us the best example, especially in our region, is the Saudi Arabia, because Saudi Arabia for years they didn't begin 2 years or 3 years ago. They began 10 or 15 years ago with gaming. They had ambition. They bought ESL, which is one of the biggest esports companies. Their king announced lately, last months ago, I think, huge investment, billions of dollars in gaming. So I think Saudi Arabia is one of the most engaged countries in terms of investment from the government, and I will not be surprised if they will be the hub of gaming in worldwide.
Are there any others that come to mind?
I think about Asia also. I think South Korea or Malaysia are two countries when gaming is really evolving a lot in the few years ago, and there are also a lot of support from the government. So we see a lot of competition. I think also the US is when we see the best competition today. I think about Brazil also. So there are a lot of countries that are investing, and we want to be one of the best in the region, and especially in our continent, Africa. So why not be in the hub of the gaming in Africa in the next few years, to help our African brother also to benefit from our experience, and also to help them grow up, because as I said in the beginning, the future of youth people worldwide is Africa, and Africa will be in the interest of all the gaming editors in the next few years for sure.
No, that's kind of where I wanted to go next, was because a lot of what you're talking about is what's happening in the country, and the programs that are being supported and the things that you're doing, the tournaments and things like that. But what about where do you see the Federation and Morocco in particular fitting into esports in all of Africa, as an example, as you're starting to describe there? What role do you see Morocco can play in helping other countries across Africa?
First of all, we are guided by the South-South strategy of our King Mohammed VI. May God assist him. We have in Morocco, in several domains, this strategy in mind of South-South. We are the hub of a lot of industry and a lot of games. I will speak about football today. The main competition in Africa are organized in Morocco. The best conference in a lot of domain are organized in Morocco. And also we are in partnership with a lot of country, because we have a good diplomatic relationship with all our brothers towards the continent. So I think Morocco has his role to play in the gaming industry in Africa, and we already started by helping some countries to build their federation, to earn time from our experience, and then the objective, I think in the next few months and years, will be, why not to have an African Confederation to help Africans all over the continent to have a global problematics in gaming, and also to address our specificity in terms of gaming, because as you know, we are not having the same connectivity like Europe or US, but we are one of the most advanced countries in terms of mobile banking, for instance. We have a lot of mobile gamers fan base because of the accessibility of mobile than PCs. So all of that are something that are specific to Africa, and we have to address it with a powerful institution that can defend the interests of African, with the editors, with the institution. And that's why one of the first priorities for us as a federation was to build up the recognition within the main regional and international institution like ESF, like FIFA E, like Arab League of Esports, like Global Esports Federation. All of these institutions are important to be part of them, to show that Africa is not anymore just the last of the school. No, we have excellent players. They just need to have the same condition of play than the others. We need to have servers near to African countries. We need to have games that are built for Africans. So all of that will be all the heart of this confederation, I hope.
One of the things I hear you talking about is to develop relationships with other organizations, other global, or regional organizations that are out there. So if someone's starting their own federation, it's important to be talking to other people in your area to get their support, to get their expertise, and so on. I think that's a good approach.
Yes, for sure. And I think that we have the same problematics in terms of administratively, at least, and we can help them a lot to earn time, so they can not took 3 or 4 years to build their federation, but perhaps few months, hopefully.
One of the reasons that we connected here is because of your event that you had, your Morocco Esports Summit here a little while back, and two of the real friends of our podcast you invited, Baba from Senegal and Sadiq from Ivory Coast, and they were so impressed that, first of all, they were so impressed that they were invited, that you guys that you were putting on an event like that, and then they just felt like they only had good things to say about the event itself. Can you tell a little bit about what the event was and why you were doing it?
Actually, this summit was organized by the Ministry of Youth, Culture and Communication. It's not our event, but it was in partnership with us. So the main objective from this Morocco Summit event was to show to institutional authorities, the cities, the authorities, the ministries, the potential of gaming in terms of economic part, not just entertaining. Okay, as I said at the beginning, gaming can be a gateway for young people to the jobs of tomorrow, particularly with all the profession related to IT development, design, video production, streaming, content creation, brand management. A professional player today is valued on the job market as a skill capable of leadership, analysis, quick adaptation to the digital world, future challenges related to the metaverse, artificial intelligence, or cryptocurrency. So we know that gaming is just not just for entertainment, okay? And Morocco has all the ingredient, okay, to be, let's say, an important actor in the region and in the world, because we have this proximity of Europe and to Africa and also to the Middle East. Okay, we have also public authorities that are encouraging gaming startups and gaming initiative. Like, for instance, the city of Rabat will build a city of gaming here in the next few months, with a lot of a big, huge space so people can again play, be trained. So Rabat could be, let's say, a hub of gaming here locally and in the region. That's all the ingredients are here. We just want to show the investors that Morocco is ready. Okay, we are ready because we have also all the ingredients, the players, the connectivity. We have a good fiber network all over Morocco. We have a good 4G network and 5G coming soon. So we have the infrastructure, okay? We have the stability regionally, and all these ingredients for us are important to show to investors. So editors, clubs, players can say, okay, we have a future in gaming in Morocco, and we want to be a hub for our brothers in Africa, so they can come and benefit from our experience.
Do you work mostly with French-speaking Africa, with West Africa, or with Africa as a whole? Because one of the things I always think is interesting is just how do people work with French and English in creating esports events? Do you work mostly with West Africa?
No, we have a proximity with West African because of the language or the culture. But today, I must say that Morocco is a key player in all the domains in Africa, including French-speaking countries or English-speaking countries. We had good diplomatic relationship with everybody. Okay. And we want to be a continental power in the gaming sector, because we have high level players, as you said, infrastructure, and we know that Africa has a lot of potential in terms of gamers, in terms of also practicants, and if we gave them the condition of training and the condition of playing tournaments on the high level, they will perform they will be at their best. But we don't have let's say a difference between our Western countries and Eastern countries. We are all Africans, and we are helping everybody. Just last month we were with Liberia, which is a friend countries. They are English speaking countries, but we are working together to help them create the federation, and they did last month. So there has officially a federation of esports. So we are glad of it.
So you work. That's really good that you're working with countries that to recreate what you've been creating in Morocco. So what's the future look like? Where would you like to see the federation go in the next few years?
The priority of the federation, Tom, remains the broadening of the base of practicants and of the players, in particular through inclusion, as I said, to allow as many young Moroccans as possible to access gaming under very good condition of practice. So that's really the biggest objective that we have. Also, and always with responsible practices, because we want also parents to know that gaming is not just the equivalent of addiction. Gaming can be also an opportunity for the kid if it is played in a responsible active. Also, we want to support the various national team because it's important. It's the visibility of Morocco, with a view to performance and the necessity and the duty to inspire future generation. Because without inspiration, we cannot have. If we didn't have Pelé or Maradona, there are a lot of kids in Argentina or in Brazil that they never think about playing football. So the gaming is the same. We need inspiration, and this inspiration can be bring by performance and national teams. So that's for me the two key points. And also everything is not that perfect. We have major difficulties to face in this sector. We must say it. The first challenge for me that we encounter as a federation of electronic games is that we are a federation of several sports at the same time. We are not just like the federation of football or the federation of basketball. We have a lot of games, and we need to focus our efforts and the resources on the most popular games in our country and continent. This is why, for instance, we launched the Pass Gamer, which is the equivalent of a license to have a database of players identified with their game, with the games they play, with the national cards, their email, their number, their mobile phone, and we now have nearly 40K gamer pass. So that's a good start.
Wow.
And we even have more licenses than other federations that exist for years. So that's for us something really important. And this gamer pass, it's like digitally with a QR code, and it permits to all the practicants to access to the tournaments that we organize, to have access to the youth center as I explained. So that's a really good project that we did. And the second major challenge, I think, is to create value in relation with the challenges and the different disciplines in which Morocco is present and is performing today. Because we need to have a private sector. The government cannot do everything, for sure. The federation will also cannot do everything. We need a private sector that can accompany and help the wave and integrate a win-win partnership with sponsorship, with activation, with brand management, knowing that gaming is one of the major axes of communication that the brands have with the youngest today, because youngest are not watching TV like we did. They don't have the patience to watch 7-8 games in a row in football. So the content is different. Their consuming of content is different, and we need to adapt to that. So brand can see a win-win strategy, sponsoring the federation or a national team, or the inclusion of gaming in the future in Morocco.
One of the things that we didn't get to talk about, and I could have a whole nother conversation, is about your relationship with the publishers. Because it's like one of the things you're talking about, Valorant and all this. It's like do you work well? Well, that's not the right way to phrase it. How do you work? How do you work with the publishers out there?
Actually, one of the guests that was in the Morocco summit was the responsible of the MENA region in Riot Games. We have a good relationship with the Riot Games. We did organize a regional tournament online in the North Africa, and by far it was one of the best organized by Riot Games. We did work with also the fighting editors in Japan, especially. We are in a relation with FIFA and EA, even if the relation between the two will perhaps broke up next year. We are conscious that if we want to build something strong and in a long term, we need to have a good relationship. We cannot organize things using rights that we are not have. We cannot organize tournaments saying that not Morocco is a small country and they will not saw us and we will do. No, we are a big country. We everybody has an eye on us, and we need to do things properly. So that's what our strategy: build strong relationship with the editors so they can have confidence on us step by step, not at the beginning, but not why not having major event organized in Morocco in the next few years. That's our objective, to have a gaming arena in Casablanca, to put Casablanca as a hub of the gaming in Africa, to organize majors of Valorant, of Riot Games, or others in Morocco. So to put Morocco in the map, and Morocco will be one of I hope one of the most important countries in the gaming, I hope, in the next few years.
People can't see you on this is an audio podcast, but when you're talking about that, you're so excited. You could just tell by the way that you're sitting there. That is great.
You know, Tom, all the people or everybody who's working for the Federation are among all passionate people. And when you have the passion in your life and you work in something that passions you, we have the passion of our country. We are proud of our country. We are all patriots. We also have this passion of gaming, and we are conscious that is the future. So we are doing that with passion, with a lot of engagement. So we can put our country in the map. So that's the objective, and we hope we will achieve it.
One of the things that I think you're really well positioned to do is because I think a lot of the publishers, a lot of organizations want to be involved in Africa, and they don't always know how to do it. I mean, the really big ones are going to figure it out, but there's a lot of people. It's like, well, how do we get involved with Africa? And to be able to come to Morocco is just would be such a good first stepping stone. And then you're already building the relationship between the rest of Africa. So people could come to Morocco to be introduced to the rest of Africa. I think it's a really smart strategy.
Yes, that's the objective. And as I said in the beginning, Morocco is among the country that spend a lot in gaming. So we cannot just say, okay, African, why we are not putting service in Africa? Because there's no return over investments, and they are, let's say, a the average revenue per gamer is low. No, we will be a lot in the next few years. That's the first point. And African are ready to spend in gaming, but you have to adapt to their mean of payment. They are not bankable as European, but they can pay by mobile banking, by cryptocurrency in the future, perhaps in the metaverse. I don't know, but we have to adapt just the market and the products to African, so African can spend money on that, and there we will have performance, we will have servers, and then the editor will be winning also. So it's a win-win strategy to build up. But you cannot just bring a model in Europe or US and put it in Africa and say, no, it's not working. You have to adapt it first, and then we will see the result. And I'm sure that Africa can be one of the major markets in gaming in the next few years.
What a great time and place you're in there to do this. Hey, I really appreciate your time here. I don't want to take the whole night here, but Soufiane, really appreciate you talking more about Morocco and what the government has been doing there on supporting esports and your integration internally, the kinds of things you do with the youth centers and things like that, and the things you're doing outside of Morocco to make for the benefit of the Federation there. Where can people find you online if they want to know more about what it is that you're up to?
So we have a very wide presence in social networks, especially in Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and also Twitch. So our social network is FRMJE official. So it's Fédération Royale Marocaine des Jeux Électroniques officiel. So so the name of our social media, and we are putting all the. You have also our website, so www.frmje.ma, when you can have all our actualities, all the latest results of our national teams, and especially in Twitch, you will have all the streams of our participation, the tournaments, the competition that we host. Just for instance, in the participation of our national team in Denmark last summer, we had almost 250K unique visitors in Twitch to watch our national team playing. So we are sure that the potential is huge. We need just to connect with people and have, let's say, more means so we can engage people more and have more competition in a lot of games.
Great. We'll put some links into the show notes for people to be able to find out more information, because and the thing that I learned is how you can hit Google Translate on your website and it all turns into English. So no, hey, I really appreciate your time. So thanks again for listening. This is the Gamers Change Lives podcast, season 2. Follow the money, play games, create jobs, change lives. Thanks, Soufiane.
Thanks, Tom, for the invitation, and hope we'll see you again in Morocco soon.
That would really be good.
Thank you.